Madam, good afternoon. Lalita madam.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
Lalita madam, good afternoon.
Sir, good afternoon. Can we start, sir, or wait for some time?
We will wait for a few minutes
Yes,
because
yes.
very little number of friends have joined so far.
Yeah,
We have sent SMS just now. We have sent SMS.
no
Maybe
problem.
another three
We'll
four
wait for
minutes
five
they will be
minutes.
joining.
Yeah.
Thank you. Please mute your microphone. I request you to kindly mute your microphone. Nandesh Kumar Bharti, please mute your microphone. Madam, should we start?
You say so, sir? We can start.
Yeah. Actually, in any case, we are going to send the recording to all the students.
Okay.
So there is no problem.
Okay.
So before I hand over the platform to you, I would like to welcome all the learners, those who are present today for the online counseling class of CSCWM. Today there is a very important topic which will be deliberated upon by Dr. Lalita. And you all know that Dr. Lalita is one of our senior academic counselor of CSCWM program, associated in this particular program since inception, I must say. And I'm very happy that she is with us and she will be talking to you on off-site and on-site treatment and disposal. So, madam, I would request you to kindly take over.
Yes, sir.
And speak on the topic so that our students will be benefited.
Okay.
Thank you.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are very much audible.
Is the slide visible?
Yes.
Just see if the slide is moving. Is it moving?
Yes, it is moving.
Okay. I have a problem with Google Meet. We will not be getting the whole screen share, I suppose.
Okay.
Okay.
No issue.
Okay. Very good afternoon to one and all.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I think we have been discussed all about the components of waste management. I'll start with that and then come to discuss about the different on-site and off-site options. I think last class we had Dr. Suman speaking about burn and non-burn technologies as well. We'll probably discuss those components also a little bit, and also the on-site options as well. I'll just mute the video so that it will be easy for me. Okay. So now you all know biomedical waste management system. Biomedical waste, I'll put in full screen. You just tell me if it's visible full screen. Is it seen as full screen? Hello?
No, only a part of it is visible.
Is it 1 minute?
But it is all right. It is quite visible.
Is it visible? 1 minute. I'll just put once again. Share it. Okay. Okay. I think you all will agree that waste management is something which we need to look at as a complete system. Okay. It is a chain of events which need to happen, and all the people have to work with this common goal. So, if you look at the common bottom line, our worker safety is also very primary important. Also, I would like to add even the patient
Madam,
safety is
it is
also.
not visible.
Slide not visible.
Yes, ma'am.
How about now?
No, ma'am.
No,
One.
it is not visible now.
Okay.
Yeah, it is visible.
Yeah. Okay. So it's while worker safety is also primarily important, we must also keep in mind our patient safety and occupational safety, as such I said, and also environmental safety. Okay, so if you look at the events, what happens, we start with segregation, disinfection, collection and transportation, and finally treatment and disposal options. For these things to happen, we need to have a good management system, policies in place, SOPs in place, so that everyone understands it and follows and talks the same line, and monitoring also in place, and maintaining records. Okay, so this is the overall component. So I'll just next slide. This is the summary slide I would like to emphasize. We have four color coded, and I think you all are aware that we have yellow, red, blue, and white. Yellow category is basically something which is infectious waste, and which is something which you must all keep in mind, which is incinerable. Okay, and red category is all plastics and rubbers, which are recyclable waste, and white category is metal sharp waste, that is the needles, syringe, intact syringes with needles, those all go to white. And fourth is the blue category, which is having glass component and metallic body implants. Can anyone tell why is this four categories? What is the basis of these four categories? Anybody?
They should not be get mixed with general waste now.
Yes, general waste. Okay, you could have just made general waste separate and all the other medical waste are separate. But in medical waste also, we are separating four categories. What is the basis?
For each category, we are having different type of treatment procedure now. Disposal is treatment is different.
Yes, very good. So the basic idea of this color coding is basically to keep them separate, and so that finally the final treatment and disposal options are different. This we know, color coded bins, we have different color coded. This is basically for understanding of all the stakeholders, from the class 4 employees till the final people, to know what goes into waste. So if in example, if I see gloves, I should see gloves should be going into red. If I see anatomical waste, it should go into yellow. So this is basically for common understanding and good practice in place. So I think you are all aware that all our non-chlorinated plastic bags have to be used, and it should be 50 microns and more, not beyond that. Again, transportation, it should be properly done so that worker safety is ensured and also environmental spillage is avoided. After comes the I think do's and don'ts. I will not go into the details. This is discussed. Then is the storage in your work area. Now, as per the new biomedical waste rules 2016, we need to have separate storage area wherein it's kept under lock and key, and preferably it should be color coded as their segregation happens. And finally, from here it will be picked up by the CBWTF once it is on a daily basis, or alternate days based on the quantum of waste. Now, can anyone tell what is the, as per the rules, what is the distance within which, if you have CBWTF, you have to hand over your waste to the
75
CBWTF?
kilometers.
75 kilometers, yes. If it is any CBW within the 75 kilometers, as a healthcare facility, we need to hand over our waste to them. Only if there is no CBWTF within 75 kilometers, we can have on-site treatment options. So, and no infectious waste, I think you all know, it should not be stored at the storage area beyond 48 hours. So now let's come to the treatment and disposal options, which my topic is. So treatment and disposal, as I was telling, anything less than 75 kilometers radius, if you have CBWTF within that distance, you have to hand over your waste to the CBWTF as per the rules. Only in cases there is, if it is not there, then you have to go for your on-site treatment. Again, either CBWTF, or if you are on-site treatment options, if you are establishing, you have to follow all the regulations what is prescribed under the biomedical waste rules. For example, if you are installing an incinerator, your incinerator should be double chambered. Okay, your stack height should be more than 50 meters. So all those specifications, what is mentioned under the rules, has to be followed by the treating facility or the healthcare facilities. That is the thing. So, and in case you are handing over waste to CBWTF, there are certain waste which we need to treat at healthcare facility or the hospital level only, even before handing over that waste. That is called as on-site treatment options, which I will be discussing, or it's called basically pre-treatment options. So, what is our final aim of our treatment and disposal? Can anyone tell me what is the difference between treatment and disposal? And give example for that. We are saying treatment, we are saying disposal. Are they same or are they different?
Both are different, ma'am.
Yes. Can you give an example and explain what is treatment and what is disposal?
For example, sharp instrument like as needles. First, we are treating with the hypopowered solutions, ma'am.
Okay. Good.
Then we are sending for disposal.
What is disposal in the sharps?
We can go for incineration, ma'am.
Incineration sharp will not incinerate usually. So treatment is basically an intermediate step, okay, in our life cycle approach. First is treatment and then disposal. So your incineration for your yellow color waste, is it a treatment or disposal option?
Disposable option.
It is a treatment. You still have incineration ash coming out, which is finally disposed into the TSDF. Okay, and that is the hazardous waste facility. You understood? That is treatment. Your incineration is a treatment. Autoclave is a treatment. Microwave, hydroclave, all these are or chemical disinfection. All these are treatments. Final disposal option is you are finally subjecting them to encapsulation or sharp weight, or sending them to the final disposal options. So, what is our objective? It's basically to reduce the hazardous nature of the biomedical waste while also protecting our environment. So, we are now at the moment using predominantly incinerators, but we are all bound by the Stockholm Convention, where we aim at reducing the release of persistent organic pollutants. So, wherever possible, we say we must go for non burn technology. Now, let us just look at what happens to our yellow color waste. What is the treatment and disposal options at CTF? So, in yellow color waste, what are the wastes which are coming? If you look at uh, anatomical waste, soil waste, discarded medicines, soil linen and beddings, and chemical waste, microbiological waste, and blood bags. Please remember, blood bags is only plastic which we are asking you to put it in yellow. The rest all plastics are usually going into red. Then cytotoxic waste which is going into incineration. So your incineration is your treatment process. Okay, what happens in incineration? It finally gets burnt at a higher level, and there you get a final incineration as ash which is smaller in quantity, and finally even that is quite toxic and it is hazardous to the environment. That's the reason why you are sending it to the landfill. Apart from that, on our, as an outcome of incinerator, we have exhaust air which is coming out, which is treated as a scrubbed air and then released to the environment for dilution. So this is what happens with yellow color waste. If you look at liquid waste, what do we have option as treatment option? We will have either ETP, that is effluent treatment plant, or liquid waste treatment unit. I will be talking to you a little later. Now, coming to the red and blue waste. Red and blue waste, what will we be doing? We will first autoclave. So, autoclave is a treatment option. Then shredding, even that is treatment. And finally, recycling is your disposal options. Why we have red and blue separately? Again, if you see, the process is same. You autoclave, shred, and recycle. Then why is it? Why is it red and blue different? Anybody? Both are undergoing same procedure and steps, right? But still we are separating red and blue. Why? Can anyone think and answer? Anybody? Okay. This is basically your plastic recyclers are different, the glass recyclers are different. So your total recycling industry are different. So if you mix, then it's very difficult to do the separation again doing it. So that's the reason they separate red and blue category of waste. Now, that is the option which we have in CBWTF. In the places where white, what do we do with the white? Similarly, white also autoclave, shredding, and finally disposal option. Either it can go as landfill, or it can go as sharp pit, or it can be encapsulated. These are the different disposal option for the sharps. Next, that is about places where they are connected with CTF. In places where they are not connected with CTF, the option is instead of incineration, the waste will go to deep burial, especially the anatomical waste, soil, linen, and all those things. And lab waste and also all those will be pre-treated and then sent it to deep burial. Similarly, blue and red, you should chemically treat, or if you have autoclave, you can treat in autoclave and then send to recycling. Similarly, the white also chemically treated or autoclave or hydroclave and then put it into sharp bed. I think in some of the areas like in Odisha and all, we still have these kind of PHCs with sharp bed and deep burial where they are not connected with the common biomedical waste treatment facilities. So this is how the waste is treated as color coded in places connected with CTF and those places which are not with CTF. So finally, what do we have? If you look at all the categories, we have burn technologies and non-burn technologies. Burn technologies are predominantly incineration. Plasma pyrolysis is being piloted here and there, but not very much there everywhere because it's very costly. It's not cost effective as such. Non-burn technologies, we have thermal process, chemical process, mechanical process, and biological process as well. Like thermal process is your microwave, hydroclave, autoclave, hot air ovens. Chemical process your all your chemical disinfection. Non-burn technology, mechanical process like encapsulation, those kind of things. Biological process is like your vermicomposting, especially for food waste, they can use for this thing, not exactly for infected waste. Now, coming to the burn technologies, I mean, these non-burn technologies, as we told, we can autoclave all your contaminated materials like soil waste, microbiological lab waste, contaminated waste, waste sharps, glass waste, and then subjected to final disposal options. What should not go in autoclave, microwave, hydroclave? We must be remembering no mercury, hazardous chemical waste, or radiological waste, or volatile compounds which should be put into the autoclave and microwave. Now, circulating hot air ovens is usually for glass waste and sharp waste. Okay, and what should not go into this? Plastics and rubbers should not be put into hot air ovens. Now, coming to the incineration, all your yellow colored waste can go. It is in high degree inflammation, incineration which happens and reduces the quantum of waste. Advantage of incineration and plasma is it reduces the volume of waste in addition to killing. That is the biggest plus with which our incineration is still surviving in our country, I should say. What should not go into incineration? Your aerosolized containers, mercury, and chlorinated plastics, because these release toxic chemicals into the environment. Chemical process. This is disinfection rather than sterilization. So all your liquid waste and even sometimes solid waste also cultures can be put into chemical process and sharps, especially in places where they're not having autoclave and all. You can disinfect with sodium hypochlorite solution and then dispose it. Mechanical process reduces the volume of waste, however, it cannot destroy pathogens. Should be used only after disinfection. All your shredding, compaction, or encapsulation, all these process should use along with the disinfection process, and then only you can apply this mechanical process. So it includes shredding, grinding, mixing, and compaction. These are all mechanical process which we follow. Biological process is used for decomposed anatomical waste, pathological waste, or digestible waste, or kitchen waste, and such places you can use this biological waste vermicomposting and all are example of biological process. Now, deep burial, wherever there is no CBWTF, then you can put your anatomical waste, animal anatomical waste, soil waste. You can't have single incinerate chamber just because I don't have CBWTF. We can't install a small incinerator or something which is not acceptable as per the biomedical waste rules. Am I clear? Any doubts still here? Hope I'm audible. I should just get a clarity, yes or no, so that I know that you are able to hear me and responding to my.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
why
it may think
dispose?
disclosure.
Yes, ma'am. What is the question? Somebody was asking
Ma'am,
a question.
why dispose blood bag in yellow?
Yes, very good question. We also had this discussion with the MOEFCC also. Why blood bags? Uh, what is the aim? Finally, we are looking at coming out with non-chlorinated plastic bags, and they assume that blood banks are highly infectious and they don't want to air anywhere, and that is the reason they are telling we'll put them into the yellow bag as of now. Maybe in future it will come that we may change that also. At the moment, it is going into yellow so that it is incinerated and completely treated is the thing. We tried to convince the MOFCC let all plastic be in the sin, but they were not very clear convinced, and they said let it be like this so that will not confusion at the moment. So only blood bags will be going into that because they assume because it's a highly loaded with HIV and hepatitis B, they wanted to put it into yellow bin.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Final disposal options. What are the options we have for especially the red and blue, white? Is either you have to give to registered recycler or encapsulation or innertization. What do you mean by encapsulation? We mix this needles in cement or cement cans. We fill the cans with cement liquid and then add all our waste and it gets remains safe. That's it. For sharp it we do not have. For sharps we do not have final any recycling or anything which is not cost effective. Okay, so we just put that. Again, registered recycler, all your red bin and blue bin can be containers can be handed over to the registered recyclers only. What do you mean by registered recyclers? They have to be registered under the pollution control board. Okay, only to such people you should give. You should not hand over our waste to any kabadi wala because there are instances where some of the hospitals after autoclaving or microwave or even without that handed over to kabadi wala because it's a revenue generation activity. But once they had found out, there was an hospital which was fined of almost about 25 lakhs for doing that. So it's offensible. I mean, it's a cognizable offense and they get punished if we are found out. So we are not supposed to do that because what happens is finally what does these people do? They use it for recycling and these products enter our market and we may be using it directly. We may be the victims for those waste. So we must be very careful to ensure that they are disinfected and then handed over to the registered recycler. Encapsulation, as I was telling, this is nothing but disposal of healthcare waste in municipal landfill if not advisable. We have to give this. These are back boxes made of high density polyethylene or metallic drums. They're filled up with the shafts and then you add your cement liquid or those things so that they become inertization. So this is how we can see an example where they are filled in waste and are add the cement. After it has dried, the container sealed and placed into landfills just for safe listing. Inertization is mixing again with cement and making it non-toxic and so that it doesn't get mixed with the groundwater or surface water, especially suitable for incineration ash and pharmaceutical waste. Sanitary landfill, we use it for this. Sanitary landfill is nothing but it's a landfill which is very secured with material so that no seepage happens, so no groundwater contamination happens, no soil contamination happens. So all your encapsulated waste, then inertized waste, heavy metals, cytotoxic waste, or your incineration ash, all this can be disposed into sanitary landfill. Okay, usually CBWTF will have a MOU with this sanitary landfill where they can hand over all the residual waste into this sanitary landfill. So this is all about off-site treatment option. Off-site is that is away from the hospital. What's happening to these wastes which are there, which are going to the CBWTF or without CBWTF. Now, as a healthcare facilities, we have a responsibility to have on-site treatment as well. Now, on-site treatment of biomedical waste, there are certain waste which we are supposed to pre-treat it even before handing over to the CBWTs. Let's look at what are those. So, why on-site pre-treatment? Microbiological waste, infectious lab waste are loaded with various microbes and they can adversely affect health. So they want on the transition during the transportation, they don't want any person or handling the waste to get the infection. So we need to pre-treat on the site before sending it. So it is the duty of the occupier of the healthcare facility to pre-treat such waste on site before sending it to the final treatment and disposals. So let's look at what are those wastes. That is your blood bags, blood samples, cell culture plates, then petri dishes, culture pipettes, specimens of microorganisms, stock solutions, resident toxins, and even vaccines. Okay, if there is leftover vaccines, we need to pre-treat it and then hand over the containers. So, what are the on-site pre-treatment you can follow? You can either follow autoclave, microwave, or chemical disinfection. If you are using chemical disinfection, you must use non-fluorinated chemicals, because if blood bags and all, if you are treating with chemical and then putting into yellow, what will happen? It will again release dioxins and furans. So you can use either autoclave, microwave, or chemical. Autoclave essentially is nothing but your pressure cooker, right? Steam under pressure with high temperature. And here you must use autoclave safe plastic bag for your containing your content. And remember, this should be a separate autoclave from the regular autoclave what we use for sterilization of our hospital equipments. You can't mix it. This is separate. You need to have a separate waste autoclave. Microwave is also a good technology. It uses moist heat and steam generated, but little bit more expensive than autoclave, and but it has several advantages as well. Non-chlorinated, if you do not have autoclave or microwave, then go for chemical disinfection. It should be effective such that it should bring down 4 log 10 reduction of the bacillus subtilis returns. Okay, this is about on-site pre-treatment. There's another waste which we need to also treat on-site, your liquid waste. So, what are the liquid waste which are coming from the healthware? They are hazardous because they can, you have communicable disease. Hazards can happen because of liquid chemicals. Hazards can happen from pharmaceuticals, and hazards can happen from the radioactive substance. All these are let into the liquid waste of the hospital. So what is that need to be done? Either we should pre-treat it or neutralize before mixing with other effluent generated from the healthcare facility and discharge. So as I told, if there is silver X-ray film nowadays, I think we are all going for digital X-rays. This chance, I think you would have seen before. We had X-ray film developing liquid, which we were extracting silver from that. That was sent for registered recycling unit for silver recovery. Similarly, we have infectious liquid waste, which is coming out especially from the lab waste, where they are doing the sample process and all those things. Such waste should be pre-treated with chemical disinfection and then let into ETP or STP. And you have liquids, chemical liquids, which are either acidic or alkaline. Based on the thing, they have to be neutralized and then left to ETP. So this is the way we manage our liquid waste. This is something which we are still in the evolving process, I must say. Not everywhere it is there. Now, as per the rules, we need to have a new hospital. If it is coming, they say that even more than 10 bedded hospitals have to have ETP. So ETP should have to have the effluent coming out of the hospital to be treated as per the regulations. Usually the ETP goes through the primary clarifier, then aeration tank, then through activated sludge, then the secondary clarifier, and then disinfectant, and finally effluent. And the final effluent, what comes out, there is a standards prescribed by the pollution control as per the new rules, and it has to be met. If it is not there, the pollution control board can give show cause notice. In this is one of the model which is utilized in Karnataka in primary health center level, where it is not connected to the ETP. The liquid waste which is coming from the lab waste is left into the 5 liter tank of hypochlorite solution. Overnight it will be kept along with that and then left it to the this thing. So that this is one of the model which has been experimented in the Karnataka. So this is one more example in one of the, I think Punjab, they have experimented with this also. So we have a wash basin which is connected with the ETP, the solution flows through and they allowed to stay for a contact period. Usually the minimum contact period for liquid waste should be 1 hour, and after that you can dispose into the general drain. So to conclude, if the CPTF is within 75 km radius, we must hand over the waste to CTF. And final treatment can be through either burn or non-burn technologies. Better is to use non-burn technologies, which will reduce the environmental pollution to the greater extent. At CTF, you can utilize incineration, autoclave, shredder as a final treatment of technologies. And if there is no access to CPWTF, deep burial and sharp pits are the options for final disposal. Okay. Thank you. I just play another video. Any questions still here? You can ask me.
Ma'am, deep burial is a treatment or disposal?
Pardon?
Deep burial is a treatment or procedure disposable.
Deep burial is a final disposal option. Okay. Beyond deep burial, I don't have anything further, right? I'll play a video of on-site treatment option. 1 minute.
On-site pre-treatment.
Is it visible?
On-site pre-treatment.
Yes,
Is it audible? Yeah.
Mismanagement of biomedical waste can transmit infections. Transmission of infections through procedures in the hospital can be prevented by sterilization of instruments used and disinfection of the surfaces. Biomedical Waste Management Rules 2016 recommends microbiological waste, biotechnology waste, and other clinical laboratory waste, including blood bags, to be pre-treated with non-chlorinated chemical disinfectant or autoclave, microwave, or hydroclave. The surfaces that have come in contact with blood or body fluids have to be disinfected with sodium hypochlorite. Healthcare facilities which do not have access to common biomedical waste treatment facility need to follow on-site disinfection processes for recyclable plastic waste, glass waste, and sharp waste. Plastic and glass waste needs to be disinfected by autoclave, microwave, or by chemical disinfection and then sent to registered recycler. Sharp waste should be disinfected using sodium hypochlorite and then disposed into sharp spit.
Any questions? Blood spill management, shall I show you a video?
yes, ma'am.
Blood and body fluid spill management. Blood and body fluid spills need to be managed. Pre-fluid spill management.
Madam, the video has stopped. Okay, yes.
Finally,
Is it playing or not
refill the
playing?
spill kit for the next use.
Now it is playing. Now it is playing.
Okay. Okay. Any questions you have?
No, ma'am.
No. So shall I ask you certain questions? Any questions? Anybody has? Shall I ask you certain questions? Okay, I'll just run through some of the pre-test questions which we have. Okay. Can we start this? First question, can safe management of healthcare waste is required to tackle hospital-acquired infections, emergence of antibiotic resistance, increased cost of care to patients, all of the above?
All of the above, ma'am.
Okay. The most critical component for safe management of healthcare waste is disinfection, segregation, proper disposal, or use of PPE.
Segregation.
Segregation, good.
Point of.
While cleaning contaminated instruments, which of the following personal protective must be used?
Gloves, ma'am.
Gloves, yes. The disease that has the predominant potential for transmission through infected healthcare waste is TB, malaria, hepatitis B, none of the above.
Hepatitis B, ma'am.
Very good. Segregation is best achieved at
Point of generation, ma'am.
good. According to this is easier. Biomedical waste rules. How many categories of waste we have?
4.
4 categories.
Correct. Stockholm Convention is a global treaty to protect human health from
Ma'am. POP.
persistent organic pollutants. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
dioxins and furans. Okay, all are true regarding autoclave technology except low capital and operating costs when compared to burn technologies. Emissions are minimal and non-hazardous. Significant reduction in volume and change in appearance. Available in wide range of sizes. Wide range of,
Significant reduction in volume achieved.
yeah, significant reduction of volume will not happen.
It
1
occur
gram
only in
of
macro.
mercury is enough to contaminate the following surface area of the lake: 20, 30, 40, 50. Almost it's said to say that 1 gram of mercury can contaminate about 20 acres of lake. Approximate proportion of infectious waste. What is the total waste generated from healthcare waste? How much is it?
10 to 20%, ma'am.
Correct. According to rules 2016, infectious waste shall not be stored beyond
48 hours.
48 hours.
all of the following steps should be followed after exposure with infected body fluid or contamination, except exposed parts to be washed with soap and water. Pricked fingers should be kept in antiseptic lotion. Splashes to eyes should be irrigated with sterile irrigants. Splashes to skin to be flushed with water.
Pricked fingers will be kept in antiseptic lotions.
Which one?
Ma'am,
Second
number
one,
2.
Two. We are not supposed to use antiseptic lotion. Okay. Post-exposure prophylaxis is of no use if started later than 36 hours, 48
40,
hours, 72
48
hours.
hours,
Yes,
ma'am.
48 hours. Okay, good. Recommended disinfectant used for handling spills is
1% sodium hypochlorite.
good. Very good. A recommendation for storage facility includes all except
of what is
Number 3,
access to
ma'am.
all persons.
Number 3.
third should be under lock and key only the concerned people. Infection control precautions are intended to isolate patient, microorganism, both or none.
Both, ma'am.
Both now.
Not patients, microorganisms. We are not isolating the patients, it's only microorganisms. Mercury spill is dangerous since its vapor primarily affect.
Nervous system.
Yes. Which of the following should not be incinerated?
Ma'am, used IV bottles.
Used IV bottles. 10% sodium hypochlorite is prepared by using, by adding. Anybody?
Ma'am, number 1.
It is 7 tablespoon of sodium hypochlorite in 1 liter of water. Waste management office would monitor all of the following except
Ma'am, number 3.
yes, they are not. They'll not be doing the policy. It is the thing. Okay, very good. Thank you all for the response. Any questions you have got? Okay, I'll conclude with one video.
Biomedical waste management. India is the seventh largest and second most populous country in the world. The healthcare sector is growing at a tremendous pace.
I'm not audible.
Biomedical waste may be defined as any waste
Is it audible
generated
now?
during diagnosis,
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
treatment, immunization of human beings or animals, research activities, production or testing of biologicals, or at health camps. The different categories of waste generated are anatomical waste, infectious waste, microbiological and laboratory waste, chemical waste, pharmaceutical waste, plastic waste, glass waste, metallic waste, and sharps waste. The various hazards of biomedical waste include infections like hepatitis B, HIV, and respiratory infections, genotoxicity, chemical toxicity, and injury by sharps. In addition, biomedical waste, if mismanaged, can pose environmental risks such as air pollution, water pollution, and soil pollution. Improper combustion of biomedical waste can release dioxins and furans that are known human carcinogens and are associated with a range of adverse health effects. Individuals at risk of being injured or infected due to biomedical waste include doctors, nurses, laboratory technicians, waste handlers, patients and their visitors, workers in common biomedical waste treatment facilities, workers in recycling industries, rag pickers, and general public as well. The four principles of biomedical waste management are reduce, reuse, recycle, and recover. Reduce the amount of waste generated by having good purchase and indenting practices. Reuse items like petri dishes and culture plates. Recycle waste like glassware and plastics. Recover waste like silver and mercury wherever possible. Biomedical waste should be scientifically managed as a life cycle approach from generation to final disposal. It has the following components: segregation, pre-treatment, collection, on-site transportation and storage within the healthcare facility, followed by off-site transportation to the common biomedical waste treatment facility, and final treatment and disposal.
Had you seen these videos before? Had these videos been played before?
No.
No, no. Okay. Just I'll put the summary video and close it.
Biomedical waste management. Biomedical waste, if not managed properly, can be harmful to human health and environment. Biomedical waste management in a healthcare facility should be managed in a life cycle approach. It should focus on meticulous segregation, proper disinfection before disposal, safe collection, transportation, and finally, appropriate treatment and disposal. In the entire life cycle, segregation at source is the key to effective biomedical waste management. Biomedical waste management is an environmental safety issue, patient safety issue, and occupational safety issue. More importantly, it is an attitudinal issue. We generate waste, and in the interest of humankind and the environment, we need to manage our waste responsibly.
Thank you. These were the projects developed under our UNIDO project, which we did in 5 states in our country. Thank you. If you have no further question, I think there's nothing much for my end, sir. Have anything to say? Anybody? Any questions? Anything? Sir, from Bhuvaneshwar Center, anything to be told, sir? Done with today's session.
No, actually, because you are the subject experts, I don't know, how much content have been covered.
Okay.
So, students, if you want to ask any question, you can ask, or if you want any point to be discussed, you can also raise that. Otherwise, we will call it a day. No, madam?
Yes, yes.
It is a very vast topic, CSCWM. But before winding up, I would like to remind all the learners that those who are preparing for the June term and examination, they are supposed to submit the assignments. If you have not submitted, please submit the assignments. And as rightly announced by Professor Ruchika Kuba, the workshop will be conducted somewhere in July, towards the end of July, he said. So, because the workshop mark is also to be added, you need not worry about it. It is the School of Health Sciences who is to decide about the date, etc. And once the dates are decided, that will be communicated to all of you through email. I think this much I would like to say. And regarding project, those who have opted project, they should start working on it. As per the guidelines provided in the project manual, they should identify a topic and then write their project report, etc., so that they can be completed by at least July. Okay, and that is to be submitted at the regional center, concerned regional center. They submit the project reports at your concerned regional center, and that will be sent for evaluation, which will be again added. And regarding workshop, etc., you all know pre-workshop activities. Some are pre-workshop activities, so if possible, please start doing the pre-workshop activities. And during workshop, all those things will be discussed, and you'll be asked to do certain things. And post-workshop activities also you are again going to do. So all those things you have to do and submit the complete, those reports to, I think, Maulana Azad College, Medical College, Delhi. The exact address will be announced by Professor Ruchika Kuba through email or through WhatsApp number, whatever may be the case. So this is all, madam. Let us stop it for today, and I think there is another class tomorrow.
Yeah.
So students, thank you very much for participating in today's interaction session. So thank you very much once again from the side of IGNOU Regional Center Coordination. Madam, I must thank you also for
Thank
your
you, sir.
beautiful
Thank you.
presentation with some video presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Good day.